Speed limiter is off. Speed limiter is off. Speed limiter is off. lap will not count. You went off track. The lap won't count.
Hello everybody and welcome back live to qualify, or the closing of qualifying I should say, after realising the microphone was turned off for the past 9 minutes. So always handy when you're at the 2011 World Touring Car Championship live here from Cadwell Park. It's a 900 to 1100 B race at the moment, and it's currently Jip at 92, the fastest man on the circuit, but only by close to 500ths of a second. A Costa is the man just behind him. Lazarus 16, the first Chevrolet on the list, in third. Ragster in P4 in the Chevrolet. Then it's Engange in fifth. Sixth place Flow. 7th Raceway. 8th place RT Metz. Then it's Mr. PA. 10th place Luke Sky 80. 11th Diamondback. 12th Andre Passer, with Damatrico and Reno still currently not set times at the moment. So be very interesting to see if they do get themselves back into this session with just over a minute remaining. Dimitri, the only driver to not set a time, and only, you can see, a 1:29.6 and a 1:28.2, so 1.4 seconds separate the entire field here in the final 54 seconds. So still Jip at leads, but not by much at the moment. So 20 seconds left for drivers to try and set their times then. Jippet still on circuit, trying to secure it. A Costa did get a bit closer, not enough in the end. He's back in the pit lane. Lazarus third, Rice is back in the P4. Engange is now fifth. So the Flow sixth, Raceway seventh, RT Metz in eighth, the PA ninth, Luke Sky in 10th. Down the checkered flag is out. So does Andre improve? No, he doesn't, from 12th. We've got Reno still on the lap as well. Still Jippet looking to improve. Oh, he's back in the pit, so Jippet returns to the pit lane. Lazarus still on a lap, as is Engange. In fact, oh, Engange drives into the pit, so Engange will not complete his lap. The Flow going towards the end of one, as is RT Metz. So the new SPM team, which seems to have erupted, involving WTTN as well, sits him in 8th position. The car's going thick and fast over the start-finish line right now. Mr. PA will be one of the last drivers to set a lap time as he comes out of turn number 18 down the final straight in his Seat. He's currently P9. Where will this lap feed? And there's a Chevy just behind him, and that Chevrolet belongs to Lazarus. The PA over the line stays 9th, and Lazarus stays 3rd. So it's Jippet from A Costa, Lazarus in 3rd, Rags the 4th, and Engange 5th. BMW from Seat from Chevrolet will be right back very shortly.
You left the track. This lap will not count. is off. Watch the lights. Green flag, hit it, hit it!
Hello everybody and welcome back live to radio coverage of the Simraceway World Touring Car Championship. 3 manufacturers racing around Cadwell Park and a full grid of cars as well. It's going to be one tremendous race to remember. The lights are out to set to go. It's BMW from Seat from Chevy. How will that order stay as they go in towards Coffin's Corner for the first time today? And we're away here. Big start as well as they'll fly down towards the first corner. Jip at 92 in the lead of the race. And as they go through, Jippet though, and the flows up to second. So a poor start by the Chevrolets as Lazarus tries to cling on from Raxter behind. Those two Chevys doing battle. PA is in 8th place. Doug also behind 2 very large Chevrolets as they make their way down now up the park straight in towards turn number 3. Great slipstream opportunity right now, but Jippet has had a dream start to this 21 lap endeavour. But the flow and Acosta, let's just see what Acosta's got now. If he can't get to the inside, then he's going to really struggle there, isn't he? Through Mansfield to turn 8 they go, and down that little kink before going up and towards the mountain section of the circuit. And you can see trying to go to the outside again. And there's Lazarus, Raxter there as well. Raceway, Luke Sky and Mr. PA all being held up there, very much so, on lap number 1. Big lock up by Dimit-R in 13th. Very tightly bunched in the heart of the field. And some big air there for Raceway as well, with Luke Sky trying to go all over, and that's over P7. That's Chevy versus Seat. Raceway driving the Tarquini Seat, Luke Sky and the bright yellow Chevrolet down the main straight for the first time. 20 laps to go. Jippet still leads, but the whole race has plenty more action to come. Flow in second could be under a lot of pressure as well. The BMW slipping into the clutches of the 2 Chevys. Both Lazarus and Raxter, Acosta clinging to the back of those also to round out the top 5. Then there's already 7 seconds back to Raceway, PA, Andre Parser, Diamondback, Ingange and Renault. So big start by the guys at the front of the field. None more so than Jippet either, because man in the lead of the race has already got 5.7 seconds. The flow is there clinging on. Lazarus third, Raxter doing everything he can to stay in 4th. Over the curve they go at Mansfield's corner in towards turn number 9. A very tricky piece of tarmac before extending into the mountain section. Up they go, and Lazarus doing very well there to not lose the back end. He almost got a bit of a tap from the man in 4th, that's Raxter. Acosta just over a second behind as well. They're all literally attached by a bit of string, it looks like, as they go through the Hall bends. And oh, there's contact there! And Raxter hits Lazarus, both of them stay on the circuit, but Acosta uses that nimbility of the Seat to just slide through like a mouse into a very small nook in the middle of your house. Great positioning by the Seat, but Lazarus, with the sheer power of the Chevrolet, takes his position back. So at the end of lap number 2, Jippet, the flow, Lazarus, Acosta, Raxter with Raceway and Luke Sky not too far away, bringing the cavalry with them as well. Renault and Dimit-R 12th and 13th going to have an almighty task on their hands to keep their places as they currently are. They're looking extremely racy in the early stages here at the British Circuit Cadwell Park, where you can get for absolutely nothing on Simraceway, completely free of charge. Oh, and a big slide for Raxter. Can he catch it? Not quite in the wall. And it seemed like a bit of a noise there, didn't it? But Oh, Raxidor and Diamondback's off, and it's dancing on ice. There's cars off left, right, and centre. One of the sets was off there. That belongs to Raceway. But Raxa had possibly the craziest slide, completely all the way left, then all the way right, then backwards. And talking of backwards, there's a BMW in the wall, and that belongs to Andrej Passer. Out of nowhere, this field is seemingly just put a surge in. Oh, there's more contact! Two Chevys spinning the whole bend. The elevation chain is, of course, a roadblock. It's like Dodgems down there. Reino, Engange, Raxter, RT Nets, Andre, Luke. Everyone is getting crazy down there. So, a very bizarre turn of events. I've never seen anything like it. I'm sure there could be a couple of penalties handed out after that one. It was like literally someone just poured a bucket of ice on the track. Maybe Simraceway taking part in the ALS challenge or something, but the drivers were simply driving on ice after that one. And Lazarus to the inside, but small wheels on the grass. That was never going to work through there, was it? Float maintained second. So the updated order as we start lap 4: Jippet, the Flow, Lazarus, Acosta, Mr. PA, Diamondback, Engange, Reino, Raceway, Andrej Passer, RT Mets, and Luke Sky. A very bizarre order at the moment, that's for sure, as Reino and Engange are not that far apart. The Seat chasing down the Chevrolet of Engange. Through the whole bends again, my goodness me, I cannot believe the amount of action we just saw at those corners. It is very difficult because these are designed for superbikes, and when you see a superbike like a Ducati or a Honda, and the way it just glides over the bumps, and you can see it on the TT or anything like that, and it will ride it over the bumps, you can lean into it. But with a car, because of the suspension and the way it's set up, you go over that bump and you literally get air. There's not much you can do at speeds of 120 miles an hour. Slight mistake, and the rest is history. And when a couple of cars do it, you see absolute mayhem. And Dimit-R off the circuit there in 16th. Now that's a retirement, we believe. But this has been an extremely crazy first stint to the race, and hopefully the driver's settled down now to about a quarter of the way through. Sky heavy braking, just behind RT Mets, the two Chevys at the moment. Reino chasing Engange still. Closest battle on the circuit has got to be the battle for second, actually. The Flow and Lazarus 16. And Lazarus gearing up for what could be a big manoeuvre. Through the mountain section of the circuit they go before diving down into Hall. And those very tricky turns 14, 15 and 16. Left then right then left again. As he go into the hairpin and onto wheels, there was the Flow, and I thought he was going to end up careering into the barrier, but luckily not quite just yet. Lazarus keeping him very closely in check though. And now going over the start finish line, Lazarus just got a bit caught up on the outside of the circuit there, I think. Flow and Lazarus still second and third at the moment. Then just behind, actually, gaining a little Acosta and Mr. Pierre. Acosta more than most as the BMW and the Chevy do battle. The Flow barely clinging on at the moment. And the Spanish flag flying of Villa, you can just see Lazarus clinging on. Acosta in P4 in the Seat, doing everything he can to stay with them. The Thiago Monteiro Seat Leon, that one is. So you've got three different manufacturers attacking the Cadwell Park circuit at the moment in second, third and fourth. Who will be able to take control of the reins of this battle remains to be seen. But last time we saw this, it was the BMW that came out on top. The very wide rear end of it. Of course, being a rear-wheel drive car, it can get the power down nice and quickly, but is that the race leader? No, it's not. It's surely. It is! Jippet's out! Jippet has lost a rear wheel! Heavy impact with the barriers there. He says, damn, he's absolutely distraught. Jip at 92, the pole sitter and race leader by 11 seconds is out of the race, meaning that the battle we were just talking about is now for the race lead. So Lazarus and the Flow are dueling away amongst each other, fighting for the race lead with just about everything to play for. This could be one of the biggest races of the weekend here. The tensions rise at Cadwell Park, and you can just about imagine how tricky it's got to be for these guys right now. They've got a long way to go, almost a third of the way through. The Flow to the inside there as they just come out of Gooseneck Corner almost, or make their way in towards it. Acos has caught right up with them as well. They're really not that far away. So Lazo, then the Flow and Acosta, with Acosta looking like he's going to mount the charge now. And again, 2 wheels through the whole bend. These drivers really struggling for grip through there. An update on the rest of the field. It's PA, 3 seconds adrift in P4. Then Diamondback with the pit button lit, interestingly. And nobody's going to set out on 2 wheels. And that was Reno. And he might as well have been a stuntman there. That was sensational. Seat from Chevy in the battle from 7th to 10th at the moment, and they are all line astern. That's Reno, SPM RT Met, My Raceway and Luke Sky. Now to the inside comes RT Met, so he'll be on the outside for Coppice. Oh, he's done that beautifully, asserting the power of the Chevy round the outside to take the position. Now it's from Chevy, Seat and Chevy in that same battle with Luke Sky at the back of it. Oh, there's been contact there. Luke Sky's hit My Raceway, and off he goes. There's some more contact there in the backfield with the Flow, Acosta and Lazarus in reverse order, your top 3. So Lazarus completes another lap. He starts at number 9 with Acosta now second. Then it's the Flow in third. So the Seat up into second. The BMW chasing with PA in fourth. Engange now 5th. And our team at Reno, Luke Sky, My Raceway, Diamondback, Dragster, and our only retirement, Jippet, the pole sitter, after having an 11-second lead. He had to relinquish it after a wheel actually physically disembodied itself from the car. So big impact there for the BMW. We're glad he's okay. He's watching from the paddock at the moment, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely gutted about it. He knows he was quick at the inside. There goes the Flow, pushing the Seat wide. We've just got a bit of information for our race administrator. There is a drive-through penalty for Luke Sky after 2 incidents with My Raceway. One of them we spoke about earlier, the other one must have slipped through the radar. So Luke Sky does have a drive-through penalty. So it's been a sensational opening 9 laps of the race so far. Lazarus 4 seconds clear of Acosta, the Flow and PA. Just behind those we've got Engange, RT Mats and Reno. To the inside is trying RT Mats, but to no avail. It's hard enough fitting one Chevy through some of these corners, let alone 2 of them. Sometimes a Chevrolet and a Seat is about as much as you can fit. Although, I think Ngannu's got other ideas, moving very heavily to the defensive side of the line. get to the inside for our teammates or no? He's doing everything he can. Oh, and he's gone to the outside there and he flashes his lights. He feels like he's being hard done by there. Pushing the very edge of the circuit, and look how close these drivers are right now. Our teammates giving everything on the inside of Nganja, two Chevys using all of the truck. They have to use more, some of them with 2 wheels off at a time each. These corners close up so quickly, and the Chevrolets very fast, discovering that down into Mansfield Bend, and our teammates trying to assert himself. Up through the mountain section of the circuit, go the two Chevrolets, bouncing around goes Nganja. Thought he was going to lose out big time there, luckily he didn't. Renault's on the way though, and hoping that he can just maybe assert himself into this battle. Over the jump they go. And now another lap completed. 11 to go, and to the inside now goes our teammate, so Coppice corner, the two are deadlocked side by side, and you can just see on the outside, he'll have to sweep it right round. He's going to really struggle though, to assert himself all the way through the very long corner of Charlie's just before the straight. They're still side by side, and Renault watches on, but I think Martinez has got it. He has! A great overtaking manoeuvre. And now here comes Renault to the inside of Nganja, trying to punish him, and they make contact. And off go the two Chevrolets, and Renault says thank you very much. Slides through into the top 5. Our teammate is now 6th, Nganja is now 7th, in what was a very bizarre turn of events. Renault, Mr. P8, the Flow, Acosta and Lazarus. But my goodness me, I think it's just nice to take a breather after all the action we've seen so far, because this has been relentless. An update on retirement, it's Ragster, then Jippet, then DiMaggio. And also Dimitri as well, so retirements Dimitri, DiMaggio, Jippet and Ragster. With Diamondback our last remaining driver in 11th. Luke Sky, 9 Raceway in Nganja, our teammate, who's put in a blinding performance so far. A bit of contact earlier on though, he's trying to himself to the inside, but no avail actually. The nimble Say has somehow been a domineering presence through the tight and twisty turns of Cadwell Park. Now heavy on the brakes out through the mountain section. Renault looking like he's might be succumbing to the pressure very shortly. Pit button lit there for 9 Raceway, so could be a stop. I mean, we're about halfway through the race, so it wouldn't surprise me. We're just over halfway, in fact. So it could well be a late stop for 9 Raceway. Some of these drivers should have been doing no stoppers since this is touring car racing, but there are always some who just feel more comfortable. And Renault's gone wide, and now our teammate is going to slide through. Indeed he does. So our teammate's up to P5 due to a Renault mistake, which makes overtaking a lot easier when you don't have to be trying to force a way through for a hole that isn't there. The Chevrolet doesn't have to worry about that anymore and can now focus on trying to get back some of the 40 seconds that Mr. PA now has. Lazarus, on the other hand, is now on his almost 14th lap of the race. He's done incredibly well. He's about 58 seconds ahead of that battle we were talking about. Lazarus in the Chevrolet at the moment, ahead of Acosta, then the Flow, then PA, and then RT Met. So Lazarus just going out of the final corner to start his 14th lap of the race in his Chevrolet. So some brilliant driving there so far. A short little run through of the order at the moment. RT Met still with that pit button lit up. Nye Raceway didn't pit as the update there, so there has been no stop yet for Nye Raceway. Ngan 8th, Luke Sky 9th. The battling all seems to have come to a bit of a standstill at the moment. Although the two Chevrolets there, actually, of Luke Sky and Ngan, are starting to get a little more. Oh, and Ngan has blown the engine! Ngan has blown the engine! It's a second Chevrolet that has had a blown engine here today in third gear. And it's at the same corner as well. Ngan, that is extremely weird. Is there a fault with these Chevrolet cars? Ngan out of the race then. Just as the battle was heating up, the car spontaneously caught fire. So he was battling up with the other Chevrolets earlier on. He's now out of the race. Big disappointment, 3/4 into a 21 lap race. He really will be feeling unfortunate about that one. And he's actually left again out of Lazarus. Hang on a minute, Lazarus is out of the race as well. Lazarus, and what is that the same problem? It's another Chevrolet, it could well be. Lazarus out of the race, which puts Acosta, the Seat, into the lead. And of the Flow, PA, RT Mets and Reino rounding out your top 5. What a dramatic turn of events. So Acosta, the Flow, PA, RT Met, Reino and Nye Raceway, the updated top 6 after what has been one of the most mind-boggling races in recent Sim Raceway history. The best part is we've still got another 2 races coming up for you, and one of those features a reversed grid based off of qualifying results. So that really will be something fantastic to watch a bit later on. Nye Raceway and Reino, the 2 Sats, are now 5th and 6th. Nye Raceway, Reino and PA in 3rd, the Flow in 2nd, Acosta in the lead of the race at the moment in the Seat. He will feel like a very lucky driver right now, 5 seconds ahead of the BMW. So Costa, the Flow, PA, RT Max at the moment, but RT Max still with that pit button lit, which is still bizarre. No damage to that Chevrolet though. Now those 2 sets starting to get very, very close together. Reino and Nye Raceway, that's over the final top 5 spot. They make their way through Mansfield Corner now. Nye Raceway doing all of the chasing on the back of Reino. And now in towards the mountain part of the circuit again. The headlights are on, trying to intimidate Reino. And now gliding over the curbs at Hall Bend. And then Raceway's got to get it slowed down. It's not only difficult when you're in a car like the Seat, but when you're in a draft as well and you've got dirty air going over the bonnet, it can become extremely difficult to keep it pointing in a straight line. So over the start-finish line again for lap number 17 out of the 21 given to us here today. Raceway has got to find something a little more prestigious than what he's got right now. Although he's gone to the inside, actually flashing his lights to make his intentions double clear. Not a good apex to do it on. He's going to lose the inside line. Almost hits Renault. And Raceway goes back in front. And Luke Sky now chasing to see what he's got. This guy's still barely able to cling onto the back. Now that Chevy's got to try and push his way through before that momentum shifts balance once again, and Raceway can get back onto the rear end of Renault through mountains and up in towards Hall Bend. Oh, he's caught fire again! Another Chevrolet! I don't believe that's 4 cars in 2 races. Renault runs right and loses a position. And Luke Sky is out of the race. That is absolutely bedazzling. So that's another Chevrolet exploding here today. So Diamond, right, let's go through the only Chevrolets we've got left then. We're lap 18 of 21. It goes Seat, then BMW, then Seat, then Chevrolet. So our next Chevrolet is RT Metz. Then after that, 2 more Seats, and that, other than Andre Parser, we've stopped on the entrance of the pit lane. So Andre Parser in the pits. Other than that, that's it for the moment. So there's only a couple of Chevrolets left in this race, and we're going to be keeping a very close eye on them. There's only 4 laps left. The last thing you want is to see any more. RT Metz, then Raceway and Renault. And I'm just a little bit stuck. I'm trying to work out what it is that's causing these Chevrolets to catch fire or for the engines to blow up, because the BMWs or the Seats aren't having it. It must be to do with the rev meters. But either way, these cars being pushed to their absolute limits. The pit button still being lit. Oh, and again, that's going a bit wide there of Costa, but with a 20-second gap now back to the car in second. He's not really going to be too bothered, I shouldn't imagine. What he's going to want to do is now slowly glide it home. MPA third. And RT Metz, then Raceway, then Renault, Andre Parser, Diamondback. And another car into the pits now, 2 actually, so the Flow and Mr. PA. So both on different laps, so the Flow being the race leaders come in, and Mr. PA as well. Now hold on, this is for position, only 2 seconds apart. Now this has just shaped the entire basis of the race, so the Flow comes out of the pits. How far away is he? Because now RT Metz is in the lead of the race. From what I can assume, RT Metz is in the lead of the race with 2 laps to go and has not stopped. So has there been a fuel miscalculation there for the Flow? Or has our teammate still got to stop at the end of this lap? Either way, we'll find out the answer to the question very, very shortly. But it's our teammates in the lead with the Flow in second, with Renault third, A Costa in fourth, and Raceway in P5. As it stands at least anyway, Raceway still got to pit. We assume, no, it has! Another Chevrolet! Diamondback is on fire! Diamondback has blown his engine. Another Chevrolet has caught fire. We've got one left, and that car's the race leader. It's only going to hold on for just 1.5 more laps, and it's going to be a race winner. Is it going to have the same manufacturer fate or no? Is our teammate going to be able to cling on to whatever life that Chevrolet has got left? Because surely there can't be that much. There's some sort of underlying issue with these 2011 World Touring cars. The only thing I can think of is that going through Hall bends, they're going at top revs, and as soon as you hit back on the floor again and the car slams against the tarmac, it's damaging the engine, or it's damaging some part of the radiator or something like that. The car is getting overly hot as you're stuck at these high revs. Final lap of the race underway. Our teammate has not pitted, so stolen the lead from the Flow, and he may have just stolen fate as well if he can stay like this. This has been one of the bizarrest races I think I've ever witnessed. Every Chevrolet bar one is out of the race. Just a minute and a half or so before we crown ourselves a winner for round 3 of the 900 to 1100 B race, round 3 in the World Touring Car Championship. And it looks like it's going to be our teammates. So he's just making his way through the halfway point of the circuit, out of Mansfield's corner. The Flow in second, Renault in third, A Costa in P4, and Mr. PA in P5. So through Hall one more time, still no explosion just yet. He's got 2 more corners to go. And our teammate is going to be crowned the winner here at Cadwell Park. Out of the final corner he goes. The car has held on just about. Our teammate steals a victory for SPM. What a drive in the Chevrolet. We'll be delighted with that one. Round 3 of the World Touring Car Championship goes to him. The Flow in the BMW takes second. Renault gets third. What a result there for the Seat. So 3 different manufacturers on the podium. 4th place will be A Costa. Disappointed he had to pit, but it is still a good result. 5th Raceway, Pierre, beg your pardon. 6th Raceway in the 2 Seats. 7th Andre Parser. 8th Diamondback. 9th Luke Sky. 10th Lazarus. 11th Engange. 12th Ragster. 13th Gifford. And 14th the Magico. So what a race that was. Our teammates winner again here in Simraceway. But Chevrolets have underlying issues as we go into the main double-header race of the night. Coming up next is the A race of the 900 to 1100.